Question number 1. Under what article of the Constitution of India can the President take over the administration of a state in case its constitutional machinery breaks down? Warn.
You got it? Your choice Article 356 is right.
Question number 2. Which word in the preamble of the Indian Constitution implies that all citizens of the country will be given equal opportunities in all fields?
Nicely done. Socialist is a solid answer.
Question number 3. In 1950, the government set up a planning commission to help design and execute suitable policies for economic development. What were focused upon in the second 5-year plan for economic development and to create more jobs?
Great job. Heavy industries is the accurate answer.
Question number 4. The new state of Andhra Pradesh came into being on 1st October 1953. Other linguistic communities also began demanding separate states. In 1966, the state of Punjab was divided into dash.
Exactly. Punjab and Haryana makes sense, and it is right choice.
Question number 5. Fatima is a journalist. She is now receiving messages to stop writing articles against the government of the ruling party. Can Fatima seek justice? Which right can help her?
Excellent choice. Right to education is the right answer.
Question number 6. How many types of emergencies have been visualized in the Constitution of India?
Perfect. 3 is the correct choice.
Question number 7. The motto Satyameva Jayat is taken from which Indian scripture?
On track. Manka Upanishad is the correct answer.
Question number 8. Presently, we have dash number of articles in our Constitution.
You chose 470, and it is correct.
Question number 9. The original document of the Constitution was handwritten by.
Excellent. Prem Bihari Narenrizada is a brilliant choice.
Question number 10. Indian Constitution mentions how many fundamental duties?
Good thinking. 11 is the right answer.
Question number 11. Who is recognized as the father of Indian Constitution?
Correct response. B.R. Ambedkar is the most accurate answer.
Question number 12. During our tour to the Red Fort, many students scratched their names on the walls of the fort as a memory. As an Indian, is this a correct act?
Nice work. You chose no, and it is correct.
Question number 13. Nepal adopted a new dash for the country in 2015.
Good job. Your answer Constitution works well here.
Question number 14. When the Universal Adult Franchise was adopted, Dashi, a member, remarked that this was done with an abundant faith in Dash, the common man.
Strong choice. Shreya K. How is the right answer?
Question number 15. What has made the government more transparent?
Smart move. Right to information is an accurate answer.
Question number 16. The Constitution of India was incorporated in.
Right again, 26 January 1950 is a valid answer.
Question number 17. When did the Constituent Assembly first meet?
Well done. 1946 is the right choice.
Question number 18. Which branch of Parliament makes the laws?
Well picked. Legislative is the correct answer.
Question number 19. If a politician in one state decides to not allow laborers from other states to work in his state, it violates the following right.
Clear logic. Your choice right to freedom is sound and 100% true.
Question number 20. The makers of Indian Constitution wanted to give some special privileges to the downtrodden sections of society. Nice selection. True is the correct and valid answer. Question number 21. Which of the features of the Indian Constitution allows one organ to keep a check on the other organs of the government? Valid point. Separation of powers is true. Question number 22. In October 2002, King Dash began taking over different aspects of the government with the army's assistance in Nepal. Well reasoned. Yanendra is the correct choice. Question number 23. Who is in the above image? Great thinking. Babu Rajendra Prasad is the right choice. Question number 24. Federalism means division of the powers into three entities: the legislative, the executive, and the judiciary. Smart pick? False is the correct choice. Question number 25. He Dash is a smaller group of people who are responsible for implementing laws and running the government. Bravo. Executive is the answer. Question number 26. A dash estate is one in which the state does not officially promote any one religion as the state religion. Sharp thinking. Secular is the right choice. Question number 27. True or false? The Constitution does not provide for the safeguard of the citizens. Solid response. False is a valid choice.
Question number 28. It is the duty of every parent to ensure their ward gets education. This rule was implemented under the... You're right. 86th Amendment of 2002 is the correct answer.
Question number 29. Each page of the Indian Constitution was decorated by the famous artist, Prem Behari Narain Rezada. Right choice. False is the best answer. Question number 30. Employment of manual scavengers and construction of dry latrines Act was made on. Correct. 1993 is the right answer. Question number 31. If the divisions between different sections of India were not healed, what would be the result? Great thinking. Violent and costly conflicts is the right choice. Question number 32. From which country the method of impeachment of the President of India is adopted from? Clear logic. Your choice, user, is sound and 100% true. Question number 33. Secularism does not mean that every citizen has the freedom to follow his own religion. Correct response. False is the most accurate answer. Question number 34. Federalism refers to the existence of more than one level of government in the country. You chose true, and it is correct. Question number 35. By which year the Indian National Congress made the demand for a constituent assembly? Well picked. 1934 is the correct answer. Question number 36. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar made changes in the Constitution according to the suggestions of... Nicely done. Constituent Assembly is a solid answer. Question number 37. The Constitution has a system of dash to prevent misuse of problem.
Bravo. Checks and balances is the answer.
Question number 38. The last session of the Constitutional Assembly was held on dash. Well reasoned. November 1949 is the correct choice.
Question number 39. A state where there is no discrimination in terms of religious practice is known as a...
Right again. Secular state is a valid answer. Question number 40. In a country, the government promotes a particular religion. Is the country is secular?
Smart pick. No is the correct choice.
Question number 41. A person reject his admission only because of caste dash. This is against which right?
Good thinking. Educational rights is the right answer.
Question number 42. Which article of the Constitution provides for the right to constitutional remedies?
Smart move. Article 32 is an accurate answer.
Question number 43. When did Indian National Congress make the demand for a constituent assembly?
Solid response. 1934 is a valid choice.
Question number 44. The people of Nepal organized a movement to establish democracy not once but twice.
You're right. True is the correct answer.
Question number 45. The Constitution does not guarantee the protection of minorities by the majority.
Good job. Your answer false works well here.
Question number 46. In which year people movement for democracy began gaining immense force in Nepal?
Sharp thinking. 2006 is the right choice.
Question number 47. Who has a role to play in formation of government under universal adult suffrage?
On track. All adult Indians is the correct answer.
Question number 48. Indian Constitution does promote equality in different religions.
Excellent choice. False is the right answer.
Question number 49. Constitution provides safeguard to the powerless group against the dominant group.
Valid point. True is true.
Question number 50. The existence of more than one level of government in any country is called dash.
You got it. Your choice federalism is right.
Question number 51. In Nepal, by dash 2005, King Gyanendra took over as the head of the government.
Correct. February is the right answer.
Question number 52. Separation of powers provides a balance between the three organs of the state.
Well done. True is the right choice.
Question number 53. Under which constitutional amendment did education become a fundamental right?
Nice work. You chose 86th and it is correct.
Question number 54. Which king of Nepal took over total power of the government in February 2005?
Nice selection. Gyanendra is the correct and valid answer.
Question number 55. The third significant purpose of the Constitution is to save us from ourselves.
Great job. True is the accurate answer.
Question number 56. Which of the following has the power to transfer any case anywhere in India?
Exactly. Supreme Court makes sense and it is right choice.
Question number 57. What refers to a goal or a principle in its most excellent or perfect form?
Right choice. Ideal is the best answer.
Question number 58. How many years did the framers took to complete the work of Constitution?
Strong choice. 3 is the right answer.
Question number 59. When did the people of Nepal adopted the new constitution for the country?
Excellent. 2015 is a brilliant choice.
Question number 60. The institution that drafted the Constitution of India was called the dash.
Perfect. Constituent Assembly is the correct choice.
Question number 61. Which one of the following is not a key feature of the Indian Constitution?
Well done. Presidential form of government is the right choice.
Question number 62.
A person compels to work more hours without extra payment comes under.
You got it. Your choice right against exploitation is right.
Question number 63. How many amendments have been made to the Indian Constitution as of 2023? Right again, 105 is a valid answer.
Question number 64. Federalism means the division of power between the center and the states.
Right choice. True is the best answer. Question number 65. When did the King of Nepal finally take over as the head of government?
Smart move. February 2005 is an accurate answer.
Question number 66. In which year the fundamental duties were included in the Constitution?
The correct 1976 is the right answer.
Question number 67. Which of the following is one of the main responsibilities of a citizen?
You're right. Obeying the law is the correct answer.
Question number 68. Fundamental rights do not strengthen the secular nature of the nation.
Great job. False is the accurate answer.
Question number 69. Which branches of government are involved in the separation of powers?
Good job. Your answer legislative, executive, judicial works well here.
Question number 70. Who was the Food and Agriculture Minister of the Constituent Assembly?
Exactly. Sri Jairandas Dolatra makes sense, and it is right choice.
Question number 71. What are the fundamental rights provided by the Constitution of India?
Bravo. All of the above is the answer.
Question number 72. The introductory document that outlines the vision of the Constitution. Nicely done. Preamble is a solid answer. Question number 73. What refers to independent people in a democratic form of government?
Well picked. Sovereign is the correct answer.
Question number 74. The Constitution of India was drafted and enacted in which language?
Valid point. English is true.
Question number 75. How many fundamental rights are mentioned in the Constitution of India?
Perfect. 6 is the correct choice.
Question number 76. What kind of role citizens of India play in electing representatives?
Good thinking. Direct is the right answer.
Question number 77. The dash is the rule book of a country through which it is governed.
On track. Constitution is the correct answer.
Question number 78. A group of how many people was elected for the Constituent Assembly?
Excellent choice. 300 is the right answer.
Question number 79. The legislature refers to our elected representatives who make laws.
Nice selection. True is the correct and valid answer.
Question number 80. The system of courts in the country is collectively referred as dash.
Clear logic. Your choice judiciary is sound and 100% true.
Question number 81. The directive principles of state can be enforced in a court of law.
Excellent. False is a brilliant choice.
Question number 82. The Indian Constitution has borrowed the ideas of preamble from the...
You chose Constitution of USA, and it is correct.
Question number 83. The branch of a government that puts laws or bills into execution.
Great thinking. Executive is the right choice.
Question number 84. The people of India play a direct role in electing representatives. Nice work. You chose true and it is correct.
Question number 85. According to which set of fundamental rules the country functions?
Sharp thinking. A constitution is the right choice.
Question number 86. When did the citizens of Nepal successfully end the power of king?
Solid response. 2006 is a valid choice.
Question number 87. The Indian Constitution was written by Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi.
Strong choice. False is the right answer.
Question number 88. If a 13-year-old child is working in a factory, what is it called?
Smart pick. Child labor is the correct choice.
Question number 89. Tyranny refers to the cruel and unjust use of power or authority.
Correct response. True is the most accurate answer.
Question number 90. In the term universal adult suffrage, the word suffrage means the
Well-reasoned. Right to vote is the correct choice.
Question number 91. In Nepal became a democracy after abolishing the monarchy. Nicely done. 2008 is a solid answer.
Question number 92. The human trafficking and forced labor are prohibited under dash.
Nice work. You chose right to exploitation and it is correct.
Question number 93. The existence of more than one level of government is termed as.
Excellent choice. Federation is the right answer.
Question number 94. Who was the chief of drafting community in Constituent Assembly?
Great thinking. B.R. Ambedkar is the right choice.
Question number 95. India is not a parliamentary form of democracy.
Strong choice. False is the right answer.
Question number 96. In which year Nepal became democracy after abolishing monarchy?
Solid response. 2008 is a valid choice.
Question number 97. Dash is a group of people who make laws and run the government.
Sharp thinking. Executive is the right choice.
Question number 98. Fundamental duties were added in the Indian Constitution under.
Exactly. 42nd Amendment 1976 makes sense and it is right choice.
Question number 99. The fundamental rights are dash in nature.
Right again. Justifiable is a valid answer.
Question number 100. How many schedules are contained in the Constitution of India? Good thinking. 12 schedules is the right answer.
Question number 101. According to Juta, Ambedkar, the object of fundamental rights is.
You chose twofold, and it is correct.
Question number 102. The Indian Constitution has dash articles and dash schedules.
You're right. 395 and 12 is the correct answer.
Question number 13. Constitution of India was adopted by Constituent Assembly on.
Well reasoned. 26 Nov 1949 is the correct choice.
Question number 104. The Bonded Labor System Act was implemented on.
Correct response. 1976 is the most accurate answer.
Question number 105. The country which has the first written constitution is dash.
On track. India is the correct answer.
Question number 106. Total no. Of fundamental rights in Constitution of India is.
Correct. 6 is the right answer.
Question number 107. How many fundamental rights are given in Indian Constitution?
Smart move. 6 is an accurate answer.
Question number 108. Indian Constitution is a live constitution.
Clear logic. Your choice true is sound and 100% true.
Question number 109. By which time had the nationalist movement gained momentum?
Right choice. Middle of 19th century is the best answer.
Question number 110. When was our constitution was adopted and when was enforced?
26 January 1950 is true. Question number 111. Everyone is equal before law. This right falls under dash.
Well picked. Right to equality is the correct answer.
Question number 112. Who is known as the sculptor of the Constitution of India?
Excellent. B.R. Ambedkar is a brilliant choice.
Question number 113. Buying and selling of human beings include in which right? Good job. Your answer right against exploitation works well here.
Question number 114. When did the new state of Andhra Pradesh come into being?
You got it. Your choice 1st October 1953 is right.
Question number 115. When did monarchy return to Nepal and who was the king?
Smart pick. 2002. King Gyandara is the correct choice. Question number 116. Constitution describe only about the type of government.
Well done. False is the right choice.
Question number 117. Dash is known as the father of the Indian Constitution. Perfect. Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar is the correct choice. Question number 118. How many people were there in the Constituent Assembly? Nice selection. 300 is the correct and valid answer. Question number 119. On which date the Indian Constitution came into effect? Bravo. On the 26th January 1950 is the answer. Question number 120. The fundamental rights are provided to the citizens by. Great job. Supreme Court is the accurate answer. Question number 121. The needs and objectives of all countries are the same. Right again. False is a valid answer. Question number 122. Indian Constitution declares dash as the supreme power.
On track. People is the correct answer.
Question number 123. Child labor violates which of the fundamental right?
Correct. Right against exploitation is the right answer.
Question number 124. The elected representatives in India are part of dash.
Nice selection. Legislature is the correct and valid answer. Question number 125. How many members were in Indian Constituent Assembly?
Good job. Your answer 299 works well here.
Question number 126. Which forms defines the rule of people by the people? Great job. Democracy is the accurate answer. Question number 127. Which is considered as a third tier of the government? Great thinking. Panchayati Raj is the right choice. Question number 128. The preamble is the introduction to our Constitution. Clear logic. Your choice true is sound and 100% true. Question number 129. The Indian Constitution was finally completed in dash. Correct response. November 1949 is the most accurate answer. Question number 130. Every religion is treated as equal because India is.
You're right. Secular country is the correct answer.
Question number 131. In Nepal, the struggle for democracy started in dash. Well picked. 1990 is the correct answer.
Question number 132. When did the Constitution of India come into effect?
Well reasoned. 26 January 1950 is the correct choice.
Question number 133. Who was the Labour Minister in Constituent Assembly?
Sharp thinking. Jagjivan Ram is the right choice.
Question number 134. A national policy for child labor was formulated in.
Strong choice. 1987 is the right answer.
Question number 135. Which article is related to equality before law?
Nicely done. Article 14 is a solid answer.
Question number 136. Who is also known as Father of Indian Constitution?
Well done. Dr. Ambedkar is the right choice. Question number 137. Which defines the introduction to our Constitution? Good thinking. Preamble is the right answer. Question number 138. Nepal has struggled how many times for a democracy?
Bravo, 2 is the answer.
Question number 139. Dash was the president of the Constituent Assembly.
Exactly. Dr. Rajendra Prasad makes sense and it is right choice.
Question number 140. The Indian government is a dash form of government.
You chose parliamentary, and it is correct.
Question number 141. When did our constitution was adopted and enforced?
Valid point. 26 November 1949 is true.
Question number 142. What is the name of the kingship or rule of a king?
Smart pick. Monarchy is the correct choice.
Question number 143. What was added to the preamble of the Constitution?
Excellent choice. Secularism is the right answer.
Question number 144. What do you mean by republican form of government?
Perfect. No king in republic is the correct choice.
Question number 145. The federal government derives its powers from the.
Nice work. You chose Constitution and it is correct. Question number 146. If a country has a constitution, then will it be a?
You got it? Your choice anything is possible is right.
Question number 147. The Constitution of India came into effect on dash.
Solid response. 26th January 1950 is a valid choice.
Question number 148. The chairman of the Constituent Assembly was dash. Right choice. Rajendra Prasad is the best answer. Question number 149. Which defines the set of rules to govern country?
Excellent. Constitution is a brilliant choice.
Question number 150. Who is the architect of the Indian Constitution?
Smart move. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar is an accurate answer.
Question number 151. The Indian state has a dash form of government.
Good thinking. Democratic is the right answer.
Question number 152. Discrimination is the part of our Constitution.
Nice selection. False is the correct and valid answer.
Question number 153. Prevention of Atrocities Act was implemented on.
Well reasoned. 1989 is the correct choice.
Question number 154. Panchayati Raj is the tier of which government?
Excellent choice. Third is the right answer.
Question number 155. Who was the first Prime Minister of Free India?
Right again. Jawaharlal Nehru is a valid answer.
Question number 156. The rights provided by Constitution are called. Solid response. Fundamental rights is a valid choice.
Question number 157. The preamble is the preface of our Constitution.
Clear logic. Your choice true is sound and 100% true.
Question number 158. The 44th Amendment of 1978 removed the right to.
Well picked. Property is the correct answer.
Question number 159. How could a person best show good citizenship?
You got it. Your choice by voting in elections is right.
Question number 160. Which of the following are fundamental rights?
Strong choice. All of these is the right answer.
Question number 161. For how many years did the British rule India?
You're right. Approx. 150 is the correct answer.
Question number 162. Most of the countries in the world have a dash.
Nicely done. Constitution is a solid answer.
Question number 163. Dash is the third tier of government in India.
Perfect. Panchayati Raj is the correct choice.
Question number 164. The Constitution of India was adopted by the.
Good job. Your answer Constituent Assembly works well here.
Question number 165. The Constitution does not declares India dash.
Nice work. You chose solemn, and it is correct.
Question number 166. The Union government is located in New Delhi.
Smart move. True is an accurate answer.
Question number 167. The final session of the Constitution was on.
Exactly. 24th January 1950 makes sense and it is right choice.
Question number 168. The Constitution of India was signed on the dash. Great job. 24th January 1950 is the accurate answer. Question number 169. Who was the chairman of the drafting committee? Smart pick. Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar is the correct choice.
Question number 170. Who was the chairman of Constituent Assembly?
On track. Dr. Rajendra Prasad is the correct answer.
Question number 171. A length of time that someone can hold office.
Excellent. Term is a brilliant choice.
Question number 172. What Latin word did constitution evolve from? Right choice. Constitution is the best answer.
Question number 173. Constituent Assembly was set up in the year.
1946 is the answer.
Question number 174. It is our duty to express our respect to the.
Correct. Both A and B is the right answer.
Question number 175. Which article houses the fundamental rights?
Valid point. Article 21 is true.
Question number 176. Mizoram Liquor Total Prohibition Act was on.
Correct response.
1995 is the most accurate answer.
Question number 177. The Indian Constitution was drafted by Dash.
You chose Constituent Assembly. And it is correct. Question number 178. Only democratic countries have constitution. Great thinking. False is the right choice.
Question number 179. Dowry Provision Act was implemented on Dash.
Well done. 1961 is the right choice.
Question number 180. There are how many main fundamental duties?
Sharp thinking. 11 is the right choice.
Question number 181. The second five-year plan was formulated in.
Well picked. 1966 is the correct answer.
Question number 182. Who was president of Constituent Assembly?
Right again. Dr. Rajendra Prasad is a valid answer.
Question number 183. What are the three branches of Parliament?
Clear logic. Your choice legislature, executive, judiciary is sound and 100% true.
Question number 184. Who is the father of Indian Constitution?
You're right, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar is the correct answer. Question number 185. Which of these is not a fundamental right? Smart pick. Right to property is the correct choice. Question number 186. The father of Indian Constitution is dash. Perfect. B.R. Ambedkar is the correct choice. Question number 187. When was the Constituent Assembly formed? Sharp thinking. 1946 is the right choice. Question number 188. Secularism means that the state promotes. Well reasoned. No religion is the correct choice. Question number 189. A formal change to the Constitution dash. Good thinking. Amendment is the right answer. Question number 190. What type of government India practiced? Solid response. Democracy is a valid choice. Question number 191. A country with an elected head of state. Excellent. Republic is a brilliant choice. Question number 192. When did the anti-liquor campaign begin? Nice selection. 1991 is the correct and valid answer. Question number 193. Which group of countries are democratic? You got it. Your choice Iceland, Sweden, New Zealand is right. Question number 194. The Salt Satyagraha was a part of dash. Good job. Your answer civil disobedience movement works well here. Question number 195. Buddhists in India are counted as dash. Strong choice. Minority is the right answer. Question number 196. The ruling alliance of our country is? Bravo. The National Democratic Alliance is the answer. Question number 197. Who is the Speaker of Lok Sabha 2019? Correct response. About Birla is the most accurate answer. Question number 108. Right to move freely falls under dash. Correct. Right to freedom is the right answer. Question number 199. The judiciary implies the ministers. Well done. False is the right choice. Question number 200. Who is the first president of India? Great thinking. Babu Rajendra Prasad is the right choice. Question number 201. What was India's population in 1947? You chose 345 million, and it is correct.
Question number 212. The branch that upholds the laws is?
Nice work. You chose judiciary, and it is correct.
Question number 203. Who was the king of Nepal in 2002? Great job. Janendra is the accurate answer. Question number 204. Constitution of a nation contains? Nicely done. Both, and is a solid answer. Question number 25. Dr. Ambedkar was also known as?
Smart move. Baba Sahab is an accurate answer.
Question number 216. The Constitution protects us from? Exactly. Ourselves make sense and it is right choice.
Question number 217. There was a people's struggle in?
Valid point. 1990 is true.
Question number 218. When did India become a republic?
Excellent choice. 26 January 1950 is the right answer. Question number 219, which is third tier of government. On track. Panchayati Raj is the correct answer. Question number 210. The Constitution was adopted on. Right choice. 26th of 1949 is the best answer.
Question number 211. When was our constitution made?
Correct response. 26 January 1950 is the most accurate answer. Question number 212. What is the full form of ink?
Smart pick. Indian National Congress is the correct choice.
Question number 213. Nepal got a constitution in. Correct. 2016 is the right answer.
Question number 214. Nepal became a democracy in. Exactly. 2008 makes sense and it is right choice.
Question number 215. India became independent on.
15 August 1907 is the answer. Question number 216. India is one of the largest. Sharp thinking. Democracy is the right choice.
Question number 217. India is a democratic dash.
Right again. Polity is a valid answer.
Question number 218. India became a republic on. Clear logic. Your choice 20th January 1950 is sound and 100% true. Question number 1219. Nepal was declared as dash. Valid point. Federal Democratic Republic is true. Question number 220. Bagar is a term used for.
Great job. Forced labor is the accurate answer.
Question number 2021. Panchayati Raj is the.
You're right. Third tier of government is the correct answer.
Question number 222. What is democracy? Well done. Rule of people is the right choice.
Question number 223. Define preamble. Nicely done. Introduction to our Constitution is a solid answer. Question number 224. Sovereign means. Well reasoned. Supreme or independent is the correct choice. Question number 225. What is India? Great thinking. A democratic country is the right choice. Question number 226. How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format. Solid response. Contact Narayan Changda on Facebook is a valid choice.